Hello, and we're live. We're on the air. How y'all doing?
Doing well.
That's conspiracy, and we got our friend Liz. How are you doing, Liz?
Just great. How are you doing, Robert?
Pretty good. You sounded a little bit raspy there. You
I
have a
am.
have an issue with your throat.
I haven't been able to breathe for 3 weeks.
Oh, crikey! Where are you living? Whereabouts in the world are you?
Aren't you watching my videos?
No. I am, but the other people listening to this don't know.
I'm Hoquiam, Washington.
Yeah. And it was under siege. Like there's a lot of fires right there this summer.
No, we got all your smoke from Vancouver.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And from Death Valley.
Yeah.
That was pretty horrible.
Yeah. I mean, I was good to go. I was wearing a mask during the fires and everything, and then I don't know, it all hit the fan when they stopped, actually.
During the peak of the fires, there was a point here where I live across from Duck Lake, and on the other side, near the airport in Kelowna, we were building a turkey farm, like a turkey barn, rather. Big structure. It had about 100 trusses. It was 100 or so feet by 80 feet. It was like 8,000 square feet, I guess you could say. It's a big barn. Hey, what's going on with the noise?
I'm sorry. I put my earbuds in.
Oh, we're hearing a clicking from your microphone device.
Well, I'm trying to find a mute button because I need to cough.
Just cough.
Should be
this is one of those. This is one of those podcasts that are going to be like just. Go ahead and cough if you need to cough.
I can't. I don't.
Sounds like you're jerking off your microphone, actually.
No, I turned it down because I can't find a mute button.
The mute button's on the actual.
Yeah, it's probably a button on the microphone, probably somewhere.
No, you just push it on the actual when you want to mute. Just push the.
Or you can do it inside. Yeah, that's right too. Eh? You can do that. Yeah, totally.
That's what I do when it gets too loud here. I'm like, oh shit. Oh, that was one thing.
It's not working that way. It's not working when like I listen to music. You know?
Are you on your phone or are you on a computer?
No, I'm on my phone.
All right. So on your phone, I have no idea. You're on your own.
Okay, if you have like a screen type that like touch screen, then you want to like hit the screen and then the little microphone thing will pop up. And then you click it, and then it'll be like it'll light up, and then you'll know it's muted.
Yeah, but the mic.
Oh, you just muted your microphone.
She just did it.
Yeah. So do the other one. Oh wait, you want to cough? That's right.
Yeah.
Dom said he's.
All right. So now both of our guests. Oh, hey, there's Lisa.
No, now I'm better.
Hey, how you doing there, Liz?
I'm hanging in.
Sweet. You sound wonderful. You really do.
Well, thank you.
Hey, anytime. So I really had no idea what the hell we were going to talk about today, to be fair.
Chemtrails.
Oh, you want to talk about chemtrails?
Not really. Yeah.
Oh. Is there something else you'd rather talk about?
Well, actually, my last post said one of my last status updates on Facebook. When was it? This morning? No, yesterday. Said, are you really watching this? Are you really watching or believing in any of this circus? I know, wait, I'd have to go back and really read it because it says, you know what? I'm just done because hashtag I am free.
Finished. Finito. Done.
I'm done.
Wow.
It's too late, I'm done. Everything from this point on is for, keeping myself together.
Right.
Too late to wake up the masses.
Well, it's weird because I kind of agree with you on one hand, but on the other hand, I also politely disagree. It's a little bit complicated because there are a lot more people coming over to the side of disbelief. What the fuck are you doing, cunts?
Did I turn my thing back on? I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, you totally did. Sounded like you were killing a fucking baby pig.
It did sound like a rhinoceros.
A baby rhinoceros being killed horribly.
So why are you doing this podcast?
Well, kind of just to get back in touch with my subs, to let them know that I'm still out here doing shit. And, it's been a weird, busy year. And I haven't done a lot of stuff. And I just kind of want to reach out and just say, hey, I'm just a guy doing guy shit. And I think it's important for people to know that we all have to do that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually gaining more followers and friends now that I'm not doing it.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting out of the truther business. It's been 8 years.
Oh, I'm totally out of it myself.
Yeah.
I mean, I've renounced my truther movement association. Like I renounced it a long time ago. If people aren't clever enough to get that I renounced it by the videos I did, the death of rapid fire free for all is one. Like that, there's a lot of subtle ways to say things without saying them.
Right.
And yeah, I completely renounced and denounced and redacted and reneged on the entire truther community because you know what? It's not it's not a community of people working together. It's a community of people circle jerking.
Well, it's become redundant.
Yeah, because they don't actually talk to anybody else out there in the world. There are some channels on YouTube still that actually do a decent job of talking to people out there, but most of the truther community just talk to each other. They talk within their own circle, and that's not helpful for anyone.
We're preaching to the choir at this point, and it doesn't matter. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
May I just interrupt to say, if you would, is there any way we can post this on my page, public? Since if you post something on there right now, it'll go viral around the world in about 15 minutes.
What, the watch page for this?
Well, yeah, the podcast.
Yeah. Here, I'll send it to you.
I have like 4,000 friends around the world.
Dun, 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 dun.
That. Hey, it took 8 years, but I did it.
All right, Liz. I'm sending it to you on the Facebook there now.
Okay, so I don't know how to get out of this. Okay.
No, yeah, just switch tabs or.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm getting there.
So there's the watch page. That's the link. I sent it to you on the Facebook.
Hey, so what you were talking about earlier is basically a tunnel chamber.
A fucking what?
Tunnel chamber.
It sounds
when we all just like kind of talk to each other.
Oh yeah.
Echo chamber, you mean?
Echo chamber.
Echo chamber.
Yeah, echo. Tunnel, echo, it's the same thing for me.
That makes way more sense. So the peanut gallery over there just switched off their microphone again.
Who, me?
No, you're not. No, I'm talking about the other peanut gallery. No, you're the focus of the conversation now.
Oh no.
I am the peanut gallery.
You do sound like you're in a tunnel.
Actually, yeah. Just a little bit.
I'm putting on here, we are live now. Please join us. What else? Do you want me to tag anybody?
Yes. Tag anybody you can. Tag everyone. Tag them all.
I can't. It's like 4,000 people.
Fucking tag 2,000 of them then. I'm just joking.
No, seriously. I can't do that.
Well, I'll just tag a bunch of people that you think that might get some benefit of this.
I don't know who that would be.
I'm sure you have a good idea.
Not really. Well, I could.
Or just make it public on your account. Then everyone
Well,
that you know will get it.
Yeah, it's. Oh, that's right. No, I still have my friend watching me. Oh, geez, this is a mess, right? That's
I'll
what
be
I'm always.
watching you.
Every move you make,
Yeah.
yeah.
Spray.
The police.
Or Billy.
Every claim you stake, every shit you take, I'll
All
be
right.
watching you. Okay.
So I'm gonna tag my friend Kazi in New York. Okay, he's pretty big on here, and he's a psychologist and wrote the book. Well, that would be a promo, wouldn't it? I can't think of the name of it.
Not the Book of Love.
No.
Oh, that's a different book.
Several years ago, he wrote, and he's published.
Every
Anyway,
single day.
Rudy Dent, I'm tagging because he is one of the first responders who lived to tell on 9/11. See, I have some very influential people here. My buddy in Texas, David, but he's not on right now. I know he isn't. Keith in London. Okay.
All right. Well, hang on. I'm going to send you a secondary link because if you want them to join us on the panel.
Well, I'll just tagging people, see if anybody will pick up.
Well, I'm sending you a second link. And that second link is the actual link to this panel, the one that you use to get on here, which apparently works.
Okay.
So, and if any of them wants to join us.
Well, I'll just make it public. How's that? The hell with it.
Fuck it. Just yeah, why not? And for the 4 viewers right now that are watching, you can also go to the Echelon Publishers Group page on Facebook, and you can get the Hangout link right there. But you're already, well, all 4 of you are here.
Okay.
I bet you those 4 are probably us 3 talking.
Probably.
And somebody else watching.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, me too.
It's pretty sad out of what, 12 billion people?
Oh, fuck. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, here was my update from last night. Are you actually paying attention to this circus referring to, I don't even know who it is, because, you know, some of these people are still talking Democrats or Republicrats and Democons, and, you know, I just can't
fucktards.
I can't deal with it anymore.
Isn't that considered bipartisan when you're mixed?
I don't know. There are no parties. Let's get real here, okay? There's the New World Order, and that's it.
That's my understanding.
and the story. It's R&R. It's Rothschild and Rockefeller, okay? End of story. Right?
Yeah. There's a couple other other families.
But I don't like to speak in absolute.
There's a couple other families involved as well. By a couple, I mean another 11 families.
Yeah, well, so I put I am not anymore. I am, you know, hashtag I am free.
Nice.
So,
but what does that mean, though? Like, how can we truly be?
Because you know what it means, and somebody said it, and I can't remember who said it, but when nothing and no one can affect you anymore,
right,
or change anything that you feel or make you feel bad or whatever. I know I'm not making any sense at all because I'm really tired, but anyway, that's what makes you absolutely free. When you're at that point of, you know, it's you. You're you. And you know you. And you don't care what anybody thinks anymore. You are completely free.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're living in a police state under in fascism, under, you know, verging on martial law.
I have to agree with you there, because you know what? To be truly free is to be free of the shackles. And you know what? To be free of other people's outside expectations of your actions and just your performance, your general performance and everything else. It's like, no, I am not that person to try to meet your expectations.
Right.
That is freedom. Freedom is saying, no, fuck that. I'm not that sort. So go fuck your hat.
Well, it's definitely not work.
This what?
I said, well, it's definitely not work.
Wow.
You know that old that they used to use for like slavery work is freedom.
You know what?
I think in Auschwitz or something.
You know what? You bring up a great point there, Cons. Seriously. Hey, if you enjoy what you do, you never work a day in your life.
Right.
And seriously, we are driven as a people to do things that we absolutely despise day in, day out, but we're conditioned in such a fashion that we believe that we are supposed to just go ahead and continue doing it without striving to do something better. But because, look, nobody wants a hiccup in their life. So, am I going to take out time out of my retail job to get more education, to get certification or licensing or whatever?
Well, that's exactly what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
I'm going to be doing.
Yeah.
Because I work as a slave, but it's to enable myself to get what I want. So I'm using their system, They can pay me as a slave, they can work me as a slave, but this is going to give me what I want.
That's right.
Ultimately, to get out of the country and to do what I really want to do.
You're coming to BC, aren't you?
I don't know. I'm having a terrible time doing it.
Oh, but you got your passport. You're almost there.
No, I don't. That was just a bad. That was a private joke.
Oh,
but it is going to be in the works very, very shortly.
Right. Well,
that was my plan. Yes.
I said you'd be able to sort it out. You just, once you get after it, it's funny because all the chips fall into place.
Well, the problem is with Vancouver, and see, I wanted to finish part of my school as ESL.
English is a second language?
Yeah, because I talked to the.
Oh, you want to teach ESL?
I have a teaching degree, but it's kind of like a few credits away from the second part of it. And then I talked to the University of Vancouver, and but they didn't give me the offer that the second school, which is in downtown Vancouver, I don't know what kind of rigmarole is going on there.
Yeah,
but they made an offer to me tentatively of part-time instructing as I finished a 6-month program there.
Right.
Then hiring me on full-time as an ESL instructor after that. Now, if I can get that on paper, like I'm out of here. But the problem is there's tuition involved. They don't take, foreign,
no, they absolutely do.
Foreign student aid. This particular school will not.
Well, no. There's ways around that, though. There's ways around that.
Okay.
There's absolutely ways around that. They won't directly accept foreigners. However, all you have to do, if you get yourself a working class visa, so you get a company here to basically say, yeah, I'll hire you, and then arrange a working visa. And
right.
guess what? It's a class above basically having a tourist visa, and then you're able to work in the country, but that opens up a whole nother bunch of avenues, and that even means having a residence and going to school.
Right.
I'm fairly certain.
Yeah, there's a lot involved, and I just haven't really had time to.
Now, if I'm wrong,
back to that.
For anybody watching and anybody who hears this, if I'm wrong, please correct me and put it in the description down there below. Because yeah, I'm pretty certain though that's the way, or the general gist of it anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of complicated, you know, to do it, and
Well,
it's expensive.
well, they make it complicated. They make it
I know.
expensive. Like it's for anybody to do anything of any value other than push buttons and pull levers for, you know, the big factories and corporations that are just punching out, you know, endless amounts of crap. It's hard for somebody who just wants to like live a life,
Right.
and it's getting increasingly difficult.
How do I get my picture on here? Oh,
You got to turn on your cam.
oh, forget it. I can't up. I can't upload my picture.
Oh, you have to have your picture has to be a certain dimension or something, I think.
Well, I've got a ton.
Well, you'll find the right one eventually.
No, but there's nowhere to go with this. All right, we'll worry about that later.
Right?
I've never been on Hangouts, so.
Yeah, it's been a while for me too.
It's more of something that you do on your Google Plus account, and then that'll be the picture that comes on when you're on Hangout.
Oh, I see. So, okay. No, I'm back in Hangouts. That didn't work. Okay. Yeah. You know, iPhones.
Oh, you're on an eyepiece.
Mm-hmm.
No comment.
Which I actually just read an
I don't know
article.
how you do that on a phone. It must be difficult.
Bill and Ted were a comedy.
Well,
did you know that the iPhones actually are a symbolism of Adam and Eve in the garden?
oh, for fuck's sakes.
I never
Really?
knew that. I just read all about that. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
Oh, God. Really? Somebody said that?
No, it's in an article because look at the apple. It has a bite out of it. And
Well,
that's
yeah.
the
I always okay. Yeah. The imagery
he
there.
took and died from, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll buy that for sure. Absolutely. Yeah,
I had
that's
no idea.
that was Steve Jobs. Can you imagine?
Yeah. Now I understand.
Yeah, but that was a representation of learning knowledge in a way.
Or selling yourself out.
Or what? It's just more, you know, Illuminati stuff.
Wow, we don't know that Steve Jobs was part of the Illuminati. Come on, let's be real. You know, actually, when he actually envisioned Apple, the company was good. They had really good products. Their products were actually cutting edge products that were ahead of the curve. However, in today's globalist consumerism capitalist environment, it kind of went and took a left turn. Apple moved away from the Motorola processors that actually defined their systems as superior systems for doing things like video editing, music production, and all sorts of things. They went to an Intel platform, and guess what? Just became glorified PCs with the Apple fucking logo and a redesigned operating system. And they just became like, oh, Apple, think different. How about think go fuck yourself? Like, fuck Apple. Like, it's ridiculous. For real. Yeah. Oh, Christ. I could go on for hours about Apple. Actually, I don't have to. In fact, you know what? I'm actually literally going to go and tell people that are watching to go and check out Louis Rossmann. Check him out on Facebook. Actually, he's on Facebook, but he's also on YouTube. Louis Rossmann, he fixes at the component level Apple products and makes a killing doing it, because a lot of Apple products are fucked up, and Apple Care doesn't cover 90% of the shit that goes wrong with their fucking products. And he basically, he pulls out a microscope and uses freaking heat soldering lamps and everything, and literally fucking fixes circuit boards and tiny little resistors that you can't even see with the fucking half the size of a grain of rice. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy, man. And yeah, and he's the guy that knows all about Apple's practices when it comes to hardware, and it's a fucking sordid fucking thing. Anyway, I digress.
I'm still trying to get my picture on here. Oh well.
Yeah, you'll get it. Don't worry. So, conspiracy. What are you watching there, mate?
Oh, I'm on the road.
Happens. Come to the party.
I'm not watching anything. I'm in the car.
Oh, you're on the road in a car.
Yeah. So that's why I
Nice.
kept myself muted, so you don't have to hear like
Right.
background.
It makes perfect sense. So, conspiracy's on the road while he's on the road. He's my co-host, and I love the man. He's a good guy.
So who else is here?
Just us for the moment.
Oh, I meant to tag Amanda Mary.
Oh, she doesn't want to join us.
No.
If there's a chat, then you can check the chat. There's the people talking there.
Or are there people talking in chat? I didn't even look at the chat, for crying out loud.
I don't even know how to get to it.
Oh, you just got to go to the watch link.
Okay. I'm just about to put my picture on, that's all. No, wait. Maybe I don't have any. I have any of so many other things. It's just not funny anymore.
It's just not funny anymore.
No.
Oh, wait.
We have to fix that.
Yeah, we sure do. I'll be right back. 20 seconds.
Why won't this? Okay.
So did you try going to your account and putting the picture on from there?
Yeah, I finally got to that point, but it doesn't seem to want to line up right. No, wait.
Are you saying your picture's too big?
It might be. Well, that one's coming out a little better, so we'll just use this one, whatever.
Fantastic.
There we go.
Oh,
Yep.
took it.
No, it's one from before. Except now I can't get back to you. This is weird. Okay. All right.
After you have it uploaded, it takes a minute for it to actually
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah. It might take a few. Yeah. It might take a few minutes. Propagate on cache and all that crap. But yeah. Oh, he's got a point. Dead air. That's what that sounds like. Still with us, Liz? I think we lost Liz.
I'm sorry.
Oh, she's still there.
I lost you, but I found you.
Yeah. Yeah. Welcome back.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, how goes it up there?
Up there is we're doing quite well actually in the Okanagan. For people who don't know, the Okanagan Valley is in the central area of British Columbia, not to be confused with Vancouver, which is on the coast, which is always rainy. Yeah, no. The interior central area of British Columbia is known as the Okanagan. In fact, it actually has a highway, Highway 97, which goes all the way down through Soyuz and into northern part of Washington, Seattle, Washington.
Don't you have like a Loch Ness Monster type of creature there?
Oh yeah, the Ogopogo.
That's right. I remember hearing that on one of the Monster Quest shows.
Reality now.
Yeah, there's TV shows that did investigative research on that Ogopogo.
Aren't you like right around there? Or no, you were. Huh?
I'm right there now.
Yeah. Have you sensed anything, or I'm sure you haven't seen anything yet, but like maybe like felt something while you were walking by it?
No, I've not seen a damn thing. It's rather anticlimactic, to be fair. No,
there you go.
Oh, jeez.
Oh yeah, that reminded me of Letterkenny for some reason. The way you said "to be fair."
To be fair.
Yeah, and I'm done with the second series, so season. So I'm on the third season, but I'm waiting for it because I can't get it from my place, so I have to get basically a side thing, or like somebody giving it to me so I can watch it. And so that's gonna happen real soon.
I highly recommend that if anyone wants to watch season 3 of Letterkenny, to illegally download it by means of torrent. Kick-Ass Torrents does have season 3 of Letterkenny, and then you get 4 and 5 also. Anyway, I don't condone illegal activities, but if you're gonna do something, do it right. Anyway,
and don't get caught.
Oh, Christ. Get caught. And don't give a fuck. Somebody gives you a ticket. Charge them back. Seriously. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying I'm just reposting because I'm getting like 0 response here, which is typical of 4,000 people around the world. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my gosh, it's Saturday night, right? We have to go into a... Never mind.
Well, it is Saturday night.
Yeah, like everybody's doing something.
But it's probably Saturday morning in most other places.
Some places, yes. But we're in the same time zone.
Oh, yeah, like I've been talking to this dude in Holland from the Discord. That's pretty witty. I didn't even know it, like, for the longest time until we talked about time zones.
Whoops.
Better. And it was funny because we were constantly just talking about numbers back and forth. So if you like looked at our script, you wouldn't even know what we were talking about because we were putting like equals in between like words and stuff like that, and then numbers after. And it's like if you didn't understand that, whatever. I like looked back on it and I was like, I'm sure if somebody was looking at this that didn't understand the process, they would be like, what the fuck are these people talking about? Beach rock, fish, seawater. Do you get what I mean there? You don't look like you get what I mean. He got stuck by one of...
Were you talking to me?
Oh yeah, I mean. No, I'm talking to the audience, but they...
Ah, crap! I'm just having a piss here. I don't know. Hey, go on.
That was it. That's it. Well, apparently those are like twins, right? Yeah.
I was actually trying to listen to the background conversation that was going on. I had no idea what you said. I was listening to what was going on in the background.
Oh, they're talking about comic stuff.
I know. I was intent on trying to listen to what they were saying.
I'm
But
just
it-
listening.
But every time I
I don't know, like,
but every time I open my mouth, it goes back to me, and then I don't hear you guys. So, Anyway,
back up over the- not the police.
Are you getting the echo
Animal
effect?
control.
Yes.
Nope.
I am.
Why are we doing? They're like lifeguards, right? Right.
Okay, well, if you're listening to the broadcast
All the
on
lifeguards,
the
you're not a
YouTube,
cop.
then you'll end up hearing it twice.
You know, Dwayne,
And usually,
Dwayne
like,
The Rock Johnson
I don't know, 20
said
seconds after the
The
fact.
whole thing is they don't show up.
oh, if you're we're not hearing it, so that's a good thing. But yeah, if you're getting the echo effect, you
I
just
never
go to the
really
YouTube
watched it.
channel and then you hit pause,
Look at the guy.
or not pause.
Or mute.
It's
Mute.
a funny
or
bit
mute.
too, where the hot girls were moving in
That way you
slow
still
motion,
see it moving.
but it was
See, he's on about hot girls. I want to hear this conversation. He's on about hot girls. What's going on?
right, not just the audio.
What is he talking about?
And then they did a bit like where an animal, something like a dog ran by in regular motion as they're in slow motion. And it wasn't as slow motion as the original though. But at the very end, they bring in Pamela Anderson. She's like in hell.
Pamela
Oh
Anderson.
my God. She's about 80 now.
Whoa.
She's like 70 years old now.
I know. She's all Botoxed up to the freaking
Oh my gosh.
shin caps.
Botox. Talk about something, right?
Right?
It's worse than Barry Manilow, I think.
Oh. Yeah. Mary Manilow.
It's bad.
It sure is.
Yeah, that's a sorry thing.
Oh crap. Well, thanks, Sarah Cons, for that. That was a welcome input for the podcast because we didn't have anything to talk about before this. So what about that Botox thing? What's your thoughts?
Mine?
Yes.
I actually have had it a few years back before
Okay.
I had anything, and it worked great.
It worked great for what? What was the actual result?
It worked great because I seem to have like really bad sinus problems, and I don't know why. I don't have allergies, but I always get these, things going. It worked
Okay.
great for that. And then within a day, it's only supposed to last like 30 days, but within a day, like all these little, I thought they were lines. No, now they're lines. Little fine lines going across my forehead. Because
we call those wrinkles.
Yeah, well, no, they're just like frown lines, It freezes everything.
Well,
So
they're called wrinkles.
No, they're frown lines.
They're frown lines. Those frown lines are still wrinkles.
Stress. It's from stress.
There's still wrinkles in your skin.
No, I don't have any still. I mean, I have my mom's beautiful English skin. Our ancestors were from Wales.
I have my mom's beautiful hair. I don't have a receding hairline. Look at this. Look. I got a nice head of hair at the age of 44. No bald spots. Nothing. A little bit of gray going on here, but hey, yeah, no. Oh, no receding hairline. Like
no,
the males in my family that preceded me.
So anyway, the Botox thing. Well, you digressed.
I totally did.
Yes, okay. But now I've been living in the South. I've been living in Florida. Then I came out here. And plus I was living in the Northeast again for a bit where the wind chills were like minus 20. So this is all done with, between that and the sun, tremendous damage pretty much around my eye area, So what we're looking at now is like some major Botox and maybe collagen. And,
right.
Even though people think I'm already a lot younger than I look. I mean, a lot younger than I am.
Right.
That didn't make sense. Anyway.
Apparently you like yoga pants.
That's pretty much all I wear.
I say God bless the creator of yoga pants. He's a Canadian. Did you know that?
No, see, I just call them leggings. And when I got out here last year and I was working, I was wearing fleece leggings to work every day because it was cold.
Well, technically, leggings came from the 1980s.
Really?
Ever see the 20-minute workout? Those were leggings. Yeah, they came from the 80s. Those are leggings. Actually, I don't know. I don't know, leg thingies,
Mm-hmm.
which pretty much got shortened to leggings.
Okay.
They dropped the thing part. No, they didn't. I'm just fucking
So
bullshitting
now,
you.
no, now they're yoga pants.
Now they're
Whatever.
no, but yoga pants are a different creation. They have a different proportion of material and tension, and they pull all the bits into the right places, and pretty much make any woman look sexy as fuck.
Well, I kind of live in that or alternate with sweats. And I always
Ooh,
wear hoodies,
ooh,
you
baby.
know, and tank tops. And I mean, I started layering everything up out here because the weather is so diverse from what I'm used to in Florida and South Carolina, you know, it's weird. You never know. It changes every 5 minutes.
You never know. It's a very true
No,
story.
no. So,
It's that's the way it's that's kind of how it's like out here in the Okanagan. It's very much similar.
really.
Yep. What the fuck is Conspiracy doing there? Do you see him in this little picture window
Yeah, I
there?
do. I do. What is he doing?
What the fuck are you doing there, bud? It just
It's too loud here, so
it's
I'm
oh
having to
yeah.
keep it.
Ah, it's cool. It's all right. It's more interesting what you're doing. We're just fucking waffling away here.
They're my yoga pants.
In your yoga. Oh,
Oh,
God
Grim.
bless the man who created the yoga pants. That's what I wanted to say. God bless that man.
Yeah, so I have a whole different style out here,
Okay.
which is interesting. And that's about it on that.
Right on.
Yoga pants, tank tops, hoodies. And then
Mm.
when it gets really cold, I put on the bear paw boots. And I don't know.
So yeah, I'm in the 80s cafe. We're having a karaoke night thing.
Nice.
So while that's happening, I'll put mute on and stuff. But if
Watch
you
out.
want to
There's a
see
fucking teddy
background,
bear behind you. He's going to attack you. Oh, wait.
the
Okay. Oh,
background,
you moved.
background.
Oh, okay. Oof, that was
Whole bunch of
scary.
80s craziness.
I
Oh,
thought you were done there for a second. Holy crap.
recognize that?
That's from Beetlejuice.
Yeah. Look at this.
Oh, the first Joker.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay,
so
well, yeah.
if it gets all loud, I'm gonna mute. But if you guys, want to talk to me or something, just let me know. I'm gonna still listen in.
So for people who don't realize, he's in the 80s cafe, which is basically a retro place that does a lot of cosplay, and it's actually quite intriguing. Hey, go for it there, bud, and tell people more about the place that you work at, because it's quite brilliant. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna go outside so you don't have the sound.
Okay.
But basically, it's in like Rancho Cordova and Sacramento area. Like nobody knows where Rancho Cordova is. So like Sacramento, outside of Sacramento, and it's, if you look up at the sign there, it's all like back to the 80s. So it's supposed to be like Back to the Future. So when I'm here, I do like George McFly from Back to the Future.
He looks exactly like him.
I dress up like him, and then I greet the clientele, the customers and whatnot, and as George McFly. So it's a blast. And we have parties, and we have like cons or mini cons and things like that, and setups, toy displays, stuff like that. Very kid friendly, and it's very like retro 80s, all different style, but mainly the poppy elements. Although we like to show the hip hop type of vibe too, and all that. Like from break in and that kind of spray painting world, that kind of feel. As well as like the real poppy, like I don't know, like David Bowie, type of stuff, or like who's that other one? Cyndi Lauper, a lot of that shows up. Oh, Michael Jackson, that kind of stuff.
So right now we got one viewer. It's probably me.
Right?
No, that would be me.
Well, that's two viewers. It says one viewer. So I guess you know what?
I posted it twice on my timeline. I'm really disgusted, because.
So then it doesn't count us then, because it would be all three of us, right?
Yeah, there should be three.
So then there's just this extra person. So hi, extra person.
No, but there's only one.
Whatever.
I don't know how it calculates it. If
I don't know how that calculates it either.
Yeah, if we're not the actual viewers, because we're already involved. I don't know. Jesus, crying out loud. It says one watching now. Oh, I got 6 thumbs up, 3 thumbs down.
That's the problem. That's the problem. Right?
Are you talking about the whole thumbs up, thumbs down thing?
And it's really getting old at this point.
What's that?
I don't think it's even real. It's like a
Oh yeah.
A way to mess with our minds, and also people that, say those people on Facebook and whatnot, they're getting a boost out of their likes or whatever. They get some sort of, what's that called?
Oh, I've got
not endorphin, but what am I trying to say?
Oh, I've got that.
Well, I've got
a meme for everything.
Like a neuropeptide boost or something. I can't remember the name of it for the life of me right now. When you're on ecstasy, what you're depleted from, that stuff.
Serotonin.
Thank you, serotonin. So you get a serotonin boost when you get likes on Facebook. If you like that shit, if you're into that shit.
And dopamine, and serotonin and dopamine.
And dopamine, yeah, definitely dopamine too.
They work in concert. They work in concert, and they kind of one is an up, one is a down.
Yeah, and it's a way that basically activates parts of your brain that normally would do that shit. It's just a matter of activation.
Yeah, but when they get activated, with the emotion that you carry during the experience. Therefore, pretty much giving you that memory in your brain stack there.
Well, you usually get it from what is it? What the science call it when you the idea of love is there's some sort of effect of the person. The person goes through some sort of, they're getting something to the brain. And it's a lot of it. Oxytocin, I think it's called.
Oxytocin is, and endorphins, yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's another thing they're trying to, implement into.
Oxytocin
is part of mind control.
Oxytocin actually gets released during sex. Oxytocin is actually released during sex within your own body.
Does it also get released during with the idea of sex? If something
definitely with masturbation. Let's go with that.
Well, the idea of selling sex. When sex, we all know that sex sells, but does it sell because of oxytocin? That's just a question.
Sex sells, period. That's the end of that story, right?
Except for during Shark Week.
All I have to do is print those 3 letters on my timeline, and I get 1 million responses. It's sad. It's really sad.
Yeah. And do you get not oxytocin, what do you call it? Serotonin? No, dopamine. Do you get dopamine from all those responses?
No, not really anymore. That's why. I'm trying to get away from it. It's just old, After 8 years, it's old.
After 8 years?
Yeah.
I would never, ever suggest that you're older than 30. But you're saying just for the last years you've been experiencing this?
No, it's 8 years of this, and now after that, it's old.
Oh.
It's just gotten old. You know.
Oh, you mean 8 years of the internet and interaction with people
Well,
online?
most on Facebook, yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
No, okay.
I don't even do Facebook other than like promotional elements to my whatever the thing I do, the cosplay.
Yeah.
Oh, am I even on? Okay. Oh, no. Keep forgetting when I push pause and mute or don't because you can't see it.
Yeah, you're still there, George.
I think.
I can hear you.
I was like, is this thing on?
Hello,
Hello?
McFly.
I got somebody come over. He came over to me today while I was eating, and I was dressed up, but it was like I was on my break. And he was like leaving and stuff, and he was like, "Could you settle a bet for me? Me and my wife over here, like we're going on, and you're the father of Marty in the Back to the Future, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, George McFly, right?" And he goes, "So does anybody ever come up to you and go, 'Hey, butthead,' and something like that?" And he did the voice and everything. And I go, "Yeah, actually, I do get that every once in a while." And I go, it's okay and stuff. And he goes, "Oh, okay, thank you." He goes, "You settled a bet for us."
Nice.
So that was funny. Every once in a while. Oh, sometimes I get kids like doing that.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Already.
I'm trying to find this. I post a lot of junk. But this is a good meme that I can't think of how it puts it. Oh, well.
So anyway, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. And you are in what part of the world?
Uh, Sacramento, California.
Okay. And I'm up here in Hoquiam, Washington.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to Seattle. I haven't been anywhere else in Washington yet.
Yeah, I've never been to Seattle. I've never been out. I got stranded here a little over a year ago from the East Coast. So I'm kind of stuck.
Oh, I understand that. I'm kind of stuck in Sacramento, so it's same kind of. It's like I think that's a process of the whatever the UN, what they want us to do is like separate to certain locations and get stuck there until
Right.
they have to move us from there to like their residential zones that they're going to create for us.
Well, they're trying to hoard us into the cities, I think, at this point because they're destroying all
Yes,
the coasts.
and I'm
Right.
already there. I kind of like went there on my own, like an idiot, because I wasn't really at the time when I was like migrating to the city. I was in the country, and I wanted to experience more. So I decided to migrate to the city. But after doing research, now it's like I want to go back to the country.
Right. And I
So
just,
whatever. I mean, I have like a family in the country area, so I can always migrate with them.
right. I just want to get out of the country. Though, I've been told by everybody, it's no different anywhere. But then I've been also told by the other half of everybody that it is different everywhere. Um, the chemtrail situation, the
Oh
GMO
yeah.
food, all of
Oh
it,
yeah.
the whole attitude of the
Yeah,
society.
it's a world thing, so it's like it's just implemented in little ways all over the place, and then it
Right.
kind of migrates and evolves, and then it like kind of like takes over wherever it is,
But
like
I
a
think,
like a plague.
yeah, here is the worst, one of the worst in America, and it's getting worse every minute. So I don't know. I don't. Yeah, trust your government, right? Yeah, really. Because on 9/11, I was in the middle of that in central Pennsylvania. So I didn't. That's the point. A little after that is somebody from Florida finally woke me up. I didn't know a thing at that point. I was complete sheeple. I didn't have a clue.
I was like looking for weird stuff already. Kind of, I was like, what do you call it? Like into paranormal stuff at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So like when I was doing that, I was like focused on like different elements that were showing up in the storyline of whatever happened and didn't happen. But when it happened for me, the day it happened, I knew that something was up and it was weird. And I thought it was like a movie or something. I thought I was watching a movie. I didn't even believe that it was real, especially because they kept playing it over and over again. And the whole idea behind, you know, whether or not something occurred or didn't occur, or if it was like staged or, you know, like behind like the whole operation of like our own people, that was what went through my mind. I was like, I know, like basically we did it. It's like this was us. It doesn't even make any sense for them to do specifically those things. Like all of the rhetoric that was at the time was like bombarded against me because I was like the outsider, like going, you know, shouldn't we question this? This doesn't seem right, you know, like these types of things. And people were like, no, we need to put our flag up.
Yeah, right.
So whatever. And I realized at that time what the flag really represented. And, you know, and it was weird because like that put me into political world before I even realized that the political world was really just like a Monopoly game, and you can decide to play it or not.
Well, I went through that exact same experience that you just described through the Canadian military. I was in the militia. I'd already had a bunch of grievances with them after about 3 or 4 years, and in my 4th year of service with the militia, which is the Canadian reserves, I was already disputing a problem with the paycheck, a couple of paychecks, because I had basically moved from one place to another, and they were moving my paperwork, but my paperwork had to go to Ottawa first. I just moved a city over, for crying out loud. It took 3 weeks for my paperwork to go from the city I came from to go all the way to Ottawa, get processed, and then go back. This is before the days of the internet, people. This was like, this is like mid 90s. So anyway, yeah. So they used snail mail and the whole bit, and it was a horrible experience, right? And guess what? During all this time, I had applied for specialized training, and I was informed one day after making numerous phone calls week after week to see how my paycheck was doing, right? One day I call in, they say, "Oh, Private Morris." I'm like, "Yeah, it's me." They're like, "Why the fuck aren't you on a bus going to Petawawa right now?" I said, "No, what? I'm supposed to be on a bus going to Petawawa." They said, "Yeah, because you're supposed to go there for, you know, your training." I said, "What training?" I said, "The assault pioneering course that you fucking applied for." I said, "Oh, so seeing as I've been calling every goddamn day to you guys for the last fucking 2 months, you don't have any information to go and notify me that I'm supposed to be doing this?" Yeah. I was like, fuck. And then that went south. I was already pissed off at the military for that. But then here's the clincher. The clincher was this, and it has to deal with Cyprus. I already had my name on the short list for UN peacekeeping duty, and I got assigned to go to Cyprus. And I got the phone call one day, and they said, "Hey, come on, get your gear packed. You're on a bus to Petawawa." Sound familiar? Like from the other situation, right? So here I am. I'm like, okay, so I'm getting all my gear packed, and I watch on the news as some Canadian official goes and says, "We pulled all of our forces out of Petawawa." Out of Cyprus. And I'm like, what? Yeah, because like some French guy died in a borderline conflict, and that was the 33rd. This is weird. This is where you can get your numerology involved, actually, Cons, because it was the 33rd year of Canadian involvement.
Of course it was.
In Cyprus. And guess what?
I had to check out what Cyprus means.
33 Canadian soldiers died.
Well, there you go. I mean, they're already coding. And
then they pulled the plug. And guess what? I'm folding my clothes for while I'm watching on the news, watching a politician say we're pulling out of Cyprus.
That's a perfect example of how like you end up decoding in the first place. Is like when they put the numbers double time like that. It's like they're like saying, "Hey, you need to decode this," you know. So then it makes you want to go further, and then you get the deeper story of whatever it is that they're trying to portray.
Well, here's the thing, though.
Some sort of ritual always.
But hang on, though. Here's the thing: is that there is the deeper story is that I was intrinsically involved with these people, with the military, and I'm watching one narrative. And I'm watching a second narrative play out in the mainstream media, and it was completely different from what we were being told on one side from the other. You got to remember too, at that time, this would be like 1994, I believe.
Okay.
And in 1994, we were also in Cambodia, we were in Bosnia and Sarajevo, and we were also, I do believe we were also in Somalia. In 1994. So like the peacekeeping, actually the Somalia tour was fucking crazy because that was the Hotel Rwanda scenario. Oh, that was fucking crazy. A lot of people don't talk about that, but I mean, you had entire death camps. Like it was insane. Like so many people in Africa, like Somalia, were getting murdered. Cambodia, you had basically people who felt that the war wasn't over. Like, still had basically guerrilla warfare happening, and the peacekeepers went down there with MLVW trucks lined with sandbags and just to draw fire. And you can't fire until you're fired upon, right? When you're in the UN, but if you draw fire and you get fired upon, then you can fire back and fuck those fuckers up. And guess what? We did that. That's one of Canada's heritage moments that should be put on a fucking goddamn commercial on their fucking stupid TV. Anyway, but I digress. But the thing with Cyprus that bothered me was that all these figureheads would say, "Oh yeah, okay, we're no longer going to support these people because of politics." It's absolutely fucking disgusting. It is atrocious. And, you know, looking back, I'm glad that things worked out the way that they did, because if I ever gone off like to any sort of service and actually had to fucking be violent and kill people, I'd be a different person for that experience. And I don't want to be that person, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you probably have to live with, you know, all the people that you took out too. Like,
yeah,
people will say they don't forget, you know. It's not like something you could just take out of your memory.
No, you don't. I mean,
and essentially, I think that's what causes like PTSD issues when you come back from war scenarios.
That's exactly what causes PTSD issues. It's dealing with the fucking shit that you were enlisted to do, and then you do it, and guess what? You have these other morals and these other justifications that you have to compare it to, and guess what? You're going to feel like a piece of shit, and you're going to feel guilty.
Right. I mean, it's like I've had PTSD for a short time because I was held up at gunpoint when I was like sitting there underneath a bridge like an idiot earlier in the day. Like coming down from. What happened? Are you still there? Oh, okay, yeah. Apparently she disappeared.
Oh, she did.
She'll probably come back. Anyway, so it was like, because I had that one of those hoverboard things, although it was like a off version, like two-wheeler or something like that. It had a weird name, and somebody wanted to steal it from me, apparently with a gun. So, so they pulled up in a car and then came out, and so I just like went into this weird like lackadaisia type of experience, and I all of a sudden felt like my body, most like things were starting to give out. I didn't, and then he was like ordering me around, like
Welcome
telling
back,
me
Liz.
to do stuff, like
Sorry.
give him money or whatever, give him everything, I believe it was, and so I was like, I mean, my mind was like, oh, just throw him stuff. So I like, had like a phone in my hand. I threw him my phone, and then there was like a backpack. And so I threw it, like,
Right.
kicked over my backpack or whatever. And he was like, he didn't want to go through any of that. So he told me,
Shit.
like, yeah. So and then I realized I had like a wallet. So I grabbed that, and then I threw that at him, and then he took my wallet. And strangely, I got my wallet back because it was like, I guess, left on the side of the road off of
Wow.
a overpass. And someone else picked it up and saw that my information was in there, and then called me up, and it was and it was weird because he took it to the wrong house. It was this whole weird ensemble. But I got my wallet back, whatever, and I got no money back. And he also, that dude that held me up, also took my hoverboard, obviously, or whatever. So, which was I just got for my birthday. It was like all sad. So I was just like, okay, whatever. And I had, after that moment, I like had to go somewhere safe, right? Because like I didn't want that after he left. I thought that maybe he, thought that he should come back and shoot me because I saw him. You know what I mean? I was
Right.
thinking stupid things like that, and so I just ran somewhere safe. And so I went to where I was working at the time, and that like kind of calmed me down or whatever. And but over the next couple of days, I kept replaying the whole thing over and over again. And,
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
And it was weird because it was like I couldn't remember what the dude looked like. It was like he kept changing in my memory.
Really?
Yeah, I remember only specific things, like he was wearing all white. He was a dark-skinned individual. He had like a short haircut, and he and it was like and he had a white car. That was like the main shit that I could remember or whatever for reporting it and doing that kind of dance. But it was like I still to this day, it's like I remember it in a weird way. Not probably in the order it actually happened, in a way. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can't rely on your memories.
No, you know what? Your memory is fallible. It could be possibly your worst enemy too. Memory is actually a horrible thing, because you kind of remember how things played out, but it's firmly
But
rooted
you're also
in how
fear.
you felt.
You're in like fear at the time, so
Yeah,
it's
but
different.
it's
I thought I
firmly
was gonna die.
it's firmly rooted in your emotional response at the time too. So like the memory
And
of
then
the
you
actual
wonder, oh,
events.
should I have done this? Should I have done that? And you start replaying the motions, and you start like adding stuff. Oh, if I did this, what would have happened? It was weird.
Right. That's why memory is valuable. It's yeah.
But anyway, that's an example of how PTSD affects a person, and in a short amount of time. And I got over it in a couple of weeks, but I probably, if somebody like approached me in a certain way, I might go back there. Like it just depends. Because I don't, it's like you have a lack of trust of people when these things
Yes.
happen. Because it's like, I mean, I didn't even know that shit happened. And then all of a sudden it happened to me, and I'm like, okay, I guess that does actually happen.
Yeah. This is a true story.
Did you get the video I sent, or it didn't go through?
No, I see it here.
I made it this morning because I was really mad that I was still coughing on my way to work very early, and this has
Okay.
been 3 weeks of this, and
Well, I'm gonna play the video. I'm gonna
Okay.
share. I'm gonna share a screen here. Do some screen sharing. Pick an application window. Do that one. Share that mofo. Present to everyone.
Lovely.
All right. So if you're paying attention and watching all y'all, all two of you.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if the audio is being transmitted.
Really? That's the best part.
Can you hear the audio? No?
I can't.
All right. Okay, hang on. I might be able to channel the audio. No, I don't think so. It's just screen sharing.
Really?
Yeah, fucking I can't stand Google Hangouts. Seriously, if you ask Conspiracy here, I use Open Broadcaster, and I can stream and use any input from any application, but Google Hangouts is kind of crap.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of just said, fuck it, just let's go easy. That's why I didn't use Open Broadcaster tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna have to do it next time.
Okay.
But let me just figure this out here. If I can somehow pipe the audio.
What's he doing? Playing video games.
Is that what he's doing? Oh, of course he's doing.
During our podcast. Okay.
Oh, that's all right.
Really?
No, I was just showing it to you. I wasn't playing it.
Okay. We'll
It's
forgive
just on the
you.
TV.
We'll forgive you this time.
Really got to find a way to entertain the two viewers that are watching.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this is the most horrible podcast ever.
Well, it's better than what most are doing. It is a good video. I got really, I'm fed up. I'm fed up with this sky because it wasn't like this for 3 days in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly overnight, I guess they ran out of their stuff. We had to do a little job on these little towns I live in. And I mean, I literally woke up like choking. And I do smoke, but, I've cut down by half, and I've taken everything I can think of between homeopathic antibiotics and whatever for 3 weeks now, and I can't get well.
Right.
And I'm sick of it. And I know it's the air.
Well, it's definitely the air is like a big fucking part of it.
Yeah, look at that mess, huh? That's like at 8 o'clock this morning. Come on. Really?
Oh, can you see that? I'm playing it?
I can see it, but I can't hear it.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, because the audio. I'm trying to switch the audio, but it's not working unless I use Jack. For those who don't know, Jack Audio is brilliant. I use Jack Audio in conjunction with Open Broadcaster, but I'm not using any of that. I'm just using stupid goddamn Google Hangouts, which is gay. Fucking sucks. Anyway.
Well, yeah.
All right. I'll tell you.
I thought you were going to use that other setup that you did.
Yeah, and it was awesome, wasn't it?
It was, you had more to work with.
We'll have to do that next time.
Yeah.
Although, like while we're reviewing things, it's weird because you have that delay.
Yeah, and I'm able to share any audio from the application. I can share video from my HDMI inputs and stuff. I just didn't go with that this time, and I'm regretting it because I'm letting down.
You just forgot. You remember now why you started doing that in the first place.
I'm letting down the two viewers that are like watching right now. And I'm sorry, you guys. Those two viewers are probably us.
They are probably us. It goes back and forth to one to two viewers.
I don't give a fuck what we're doing. All right, so
We're like alternate universe us.
Okay, so
yeah, there you go. Because we pretty
okay,
much are, right?
I'll go with that
Hey,
then.
the aura
We're
of
out here in the
reality.
Twilight Zone.
All right, so
In
Liz,
the ARG world, they call that the aura of reality.
so Liz, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit the play button again.
Okay.
But you're gonna what I want you to do is, since we can't play the audio, I want you to guide us through the experience.
Just
Oh,
like
jeez.
do the commentary.
I can't even remember how I said it, you know.
Oh well, no,
Okay.
just go with it, okay? Okay,
I'll
so
try.
I'm gonna hit play now. So there's play.
I'll say, good morning from Hoquiam, Washington. And after having about 3 days of perfectly blue skies and sunshine, actually, yesterday it was about 80 degrees here. I see that overnight something very different has happened. And I guess they ran out of their shit and had to postpone. And now, oh, look what we have here. Yeah. Because I woke up like suffocating for no reason at all.
It looked like you're floating around too.
I'm at the bus stop, you know, trying to go to work this morning.
Oh yeah.
Which I normally I don't work Saturdays. And
those look like
yes, here
that
we
looks
go.
like that looks
up, yeah.
Chemtrails, guys.
Yeah, there we go.
Those ripples right there are definitely like signs of HARP.
A HARP
or a HARP related shit. Like
all
antenna arrays
long,
are definitely doing shit.
Yeah, all night long they were having just a good old time. So my thoughts on this exactly, and I can't come up with anything else, is that we need to start a major GoFundMe. I'll pitch in, buy our own fleet of drones, and shoot these mamas down. Because, you know, frankly, and I don't normally swear, I am fucking sick of it. I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of seeing this. I'm sick of breathing this. And somebody's got to do something.
Well,
and
you know,
that somebody's got to be us.
A better technology than shooting them down, because that would involve the use of, explosives and what have you.
And murder.
Yeah, and murdering things. But no, EMPs would work. Just bring them down. Bring them down with EMPs. That's the way to bring down drones for an area. You know, DARPA has been doing a lot of research for a long time to figure out how to combat.
They're way too far high up in the sky, though.
The real drones are up there at 30,000 feet, and
yeah, but I'm saying, like, for us to have something that would take those down, like,
they
equally.
They could read the size of your pants off the label, like on your fucking like Levi's.
And I'm sure those things have LiDAR on them, but that's speculated.
They're not wearing LiDAR. Yeah, no, fucking right, absolutely. But here's a twisted bet. Is that DARPA and these other groups like Grumman and friggin' like Boeing and all of these companies, they've already invested a lot of money in counter drone what do you call it? I just got a text message. Hey, look at that. But yeah, no, they've been investing a lot of money in counter drone countermeasures. Countermeasures.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I got distracted. I was looking at my phone. Sorry, guys. But here, notwithstanding, I mean, shit. Like, it's like we don't even have drones yet, but they have drone countermeasures because they know that we're going to have countermeasures for their drones.
Right.
That's the point of what I was trying to get at. And sorry for the lag time, guys. All one of you listening now.
Would that be me?
No. It was 2. Now it's 1. So I'm guessing that one of you guys actually turned it off. Thanks for the fucking support.
Okay, so then it must be like when we mute. Does it say like 2 now since I'm not muted?
Fuck, I can't even fucking depend on the panel. There should be 3 fucking viewers right now.
Well, I just actually got some comments on my post, but I figured somebody might join us, but they didn't.
For better or for worse.
Yeah. It's a big Saturday night. What can we say?
Christ.
Come
hey,
on.
It's a drunken Saturday night, and I went camping last night. I was around a nice wood smoke fire. It was a bit cold, but when the fire was like really beaten, it was awesome. Oh yeah, absolutely brilliant.
Well, anyway, you can take that down because now we can't see you.
Oh, right. Okay, I'll stop. Hey,
He was hiding.
There we go.
All right.
So anyway, yeah, that's it's just become a major issue with me. I never dreamed. I never dreamed I'd be coming out here to begin with. But now that I'm in the Pacific Northwest, could we not have what we had outside of New York City? I mean, really?
Ooh, that's a whole different side of the planet, though.
Well, and apparently I'm being told it's
everywhere.
Everywhere.
Seem to matter.
Yeah, it's everywhere, including up there.
All over. I think even that dude in Holland told me that he has them there.
Well, yeah, the United Kingdom is really bad. I know that. But somebody had told me that Canada wasn't this bad.
Well, I'm hoping they're right.
I mean, I don't know what you're seeing up there, Robert, but...
Well, I came back here after Mexico and Belize, and when I got back here, it took me about 3 months, 4 months. Actually, it might have taken a solid 6 months to adjust back to Canadian life because, when you live with a different culture, it kind of makes you drive in a different direction. And then when you come back to a place like this and everybody is fucking sheep-tarded, it becomes weird. And then it's like, oh crap, like I just left what you might think is a third world, but
right,
it's like, no, it's not really. They got it right. It's community based, and it's a proper community. Here, your community, you don't even know your fucking next door neighbors. It's a bizarre.
That's the same here in California. It's like, especially the city. It's very convoluted to the point where I don't know who's living across the street from me or next door.
Right.
And I mean, I know that I'm aware of their existence, but we never communicate.
Well,
and I don't know whose fault that is. Is it my fault or is it their fault? It doesn't.
Well. Hey, listen.
If there was reasons to meet, then we'd end up meeting, and that's how I think that.
Well, we really actually truthfully know whose fault it is, and it's not yours and it's not theirs. The fault lies in the indoctrination of not knowing your neighbors. It's like, oh, I don't want to know my neighbors. Oh, because they could be crack fiends. They could be drug dealers.
But I think that's just from the propaganda.
That's the propaganda.
People fear that their own neighbor.
So you know what you should do? Go and bring them a hoagie or a French loaf. Go and bring them a fucking cake.
I don't know. I already kind of pissed off the next door neighbor on the right because my drone went crazy and hit his car one day.
Oh, for fuck's sakes! You already fucked it up.
And he saw it. And there's no getting out of that. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna take this and go. Bye.
That's why you can't have nice things,
Yeah. I know, right? I can't have my hoverboard. I can't have a drone.
Oh, I crashed my drone really good.
Oh, did you?
Oh,
Yours is way better than mine. You can like. I
People
saw
don't want to know
yours went
anybody.
hella high.
it dropped
Yeah.
out of the air. It dropped out of the air. I don't know what happened.
Do you
I
think
know
it
it
hit one of
dropped
those
twice.
fences? It could have hit one of those fences, those invisible fences they call them.
Not out in the woods. No, there was no invisible fence. I don't know if the battery got dislodged or something, but it ended up landing on a bus. A bus
Oh
that had been,
shit!
a bus that had been parked for a long time in the woods.
Oh well, that's good.
It was
That's kind of
funny.
weird though.
I know it landed. Well,
Did you get the footage?
Hey, well, I have the footage and I haven't looked at it. Seriously,
Okay, that might be neat to look at.
yeah, it might be very interesting to look at. But here's a weird bit: is that I was actually doing a drone demonstration moments before I left the campsite. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So drone crashes. It's like, oh fuck, my drone's fucked up. Oh, where is it? It's like, I know the sound because it hit the bus. So somebody directed me to where the bus was. It's like, oh, there it is. Oh, there's a camera. Oh, there's a battery. Oh, there's a drone. All fucked up, like plastic broken, like the stretcher all fucked up and the whole bit. Yeah, it was kind of messed up. Anyway, so fuck, I gather all the bits together, got it, and oh, time to go. So we left, and that was it.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I gotta go. Yeah, because it was Oh shit. But anyway, after we go, helicopters fucking showed up.
Really?
5 minutes
after there was no electric fence. Not electric fence. What do you call it?
I'm not sure of anything. That's what I'm saying.
I'm thinking there's something like
5 minutes later.
Some evidence.
5 minutes after we leave, with all our shit, fucking.
What are the chances though?
Helicopters.
What are the odds?
Helicopters show hovering at 20 fucking feet over the fucking over the treetops.
So they turned your shit off. That's what happened.
That's what I think. I don't know if I think
you got too close to something and they turned it off. That's what it sounds like.
It dropped dead in midair.
They could do that. They can do that.
Dude, I've flown this drone so many times.
Yeah, but how high were you? Were you higher than you're supposed to be?
It doesn't matter because the thing is actually programmed. It's got dual GPS. It's programmed to literally just go and hover at the last place it's supposed to. And I can have a return to home command on it. Boom. So I hit a button and it returns back to my spot.
Yeah, but if it goes over some sort of restricted area or possible like...
We were in the woods. We're in the woods.
Yeah, we're in the woods in restricted areas there.
There could be restricted areas.
What about someone's farm? There could have been someone's farm there.
No.
In the middle of the woods. They could have put an electric thing so then you can't find it because you get too close. You end up seeing it.
I don't know. It's just weird. All right, cool. Yeah, it was just weird. What do you think there, Liz?
I don't know. Everything's coming in. It sounds like I can't even describe it. The quality of the sound is not good.
You can't hear.
I don't even know what you're talking about, actually.
You can't hear anything?
It's just going in and out on me a lot.
Well, you sound good. Okay. You can hear me and I can hear him. So there might be, your output might be messed up.
Right. Yeah, I'm kind of checking my settings. I should go on my wife. Okay.
Right. Well, Liz, I'm thinking.
Can you?
What? Yeah, I can hear you. You're in and out. It sounds like what you're doing is working because it's.
See, I'm not saying.
Oh, you also have a horrible internet connection too. Just. Yeah. It sounds like you have a horrible internet connection. Yeah, you're cutting in and out.
Really?
Yeah. But you know,
Right.
Liz, it was an absolute
I
pleasure.
do.
It was an absolute pleasure to have you with me here. As conspiracy. Hey, where are you, mate?
I'm here. Sorry, I had to deal with something.
Hey,
We're gonna
Hey.
we're gonna call it a wrap.
You're gonna call it a wrap?
Right?
I like that.
We're gonna call it a wrap.
You got my hyena laugh out there.
Well, hey, man. Hey, I had to dig deep for that one, you know.
I know, right?
let me go ahead and try this again.
But Liz, join us again next time.
Yeah, it was nice meeting you, Liz.
Oh, okay, now I've got you back. You too.
Yeah, there you are.
Yeah, I don't know. I went from Wi-Fi to, you know, data, and I don't know.
So that just works better.
Something did. Yeah.
You sound brilliant because you were
Oh, yeah,
kind
you
of
sound a lot better now.
you were.
Yeah.
Well, I was just about to say we're gonna call it a wrap tonight. And absolutely enjoyed having you with us. Would you like to join us again next time?
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
fantastic. Are you cool with that? Conspiracy? What do you think? What do you think, Liz?
Yeah, I'm cool. Whatever. What
Well,
do I care?
and all and all and all two viewers that are watching right now,
Yeah.
leave your comments in the description below and let
More
us
the
know.
merrier.
There is none. Well,
Oh, this is good. This has rewatchability. I mean, people are going to watch this anyway after the fact. So
That's usually the dance with
it'll be
your
on
with your viewers.
it'll be
Yeah.
on YouTube, right?
absolutely.
Yeah, under his
Okay.
channel.
And
Right.
and listen, during this podcast, Liz very much stated some things that require some attention. I guess we'll leave links in the description. So send me some links to some of the things we were talking about there, Liz,
Okay.
and we'll get after it. And you're very much a supporter of Healing Oracle. Are you or no?
Am I? Yes, I am in there. I don't have a lot of time anymore, you know.
Hmm.
I'm running. I'm kind of running for my life right now.
Oh, we're all running for our life.
So, yeah, I'm
You
not
gotta run
in.
for your life.
Well,
Not
and that
from.
too. No, I did for it.
She said
Oh,
four.
okay, yeah.
She
Okay, good.
said four, not from.
My bad. I heard it incorrect on
Yeah, no
my
worries.
That's
bad.
okay. That's okay. Because I need to run somewhere else, you know.
Well, you know you're always welcome here in British Columbia.
Well, like I said, it's just been a process, and it keeps going right back to the beginning, and I can't seem to get anywhere with it. So, and it seems to require an awful lot of money. I can only find part-time work here, and that's why I want to get up there.
Right.
I want to go back to work full-time. So,
Well, there's lots of work out here.
yeah, it's just a matter of how to find it, and like you said, they want me to get my passport first, then they'll give me a work visa, and
Oh my God, no.
It's
I
a
tried
whole
looking into the whole
process.
passport thing. You don't get your passport for like 3 months or something after you finally give them all your stuff.
Well, yeah, it's a nightmare, and it's expensive.
It only took me 2 weeks in Canada. It took me 2 weeks to get my passport. I got my 5-year passport, and I had it processed, and I had it in my hand after 2 weeks.
I'm thinking that they're just more organized in that area. Because like our whole thing is completely disorganized. Like, look at the DMV.
Wow.
You go in
Right.
and you like put, get a number with a letter and everything, and you're waiting for that, and it's got no order to it. Like, there's just no order. You're just like, okay, well, this should be that. You think that one's going to be next because it follows suit, like in an actual legible way. But
Right.
no, it's like totally takes you to a different row and a different letter and a different number system, and you're just like waiting hours before your number gets called.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you have to literally, like, if you're like stupid, you sit there and watch it for days. But like, if you know, there's a time frame, you could like sit there.
We have that
kind of
here.
like, I go out in the car and hang for a while and then go back in.
In British Columbia, we call it the ICBC. But yeah, you have to take a number, and the number is actually, it's got a letter and a number associated to it. So like you're not just waiting for like 17. You're waiting for like
now, are they using at gematria in that? Like,
I don't know. No, I don't know. Come on.
Maybe because of the whole letter and number element.
I don't know, but it's like, oh, if you're here just to get your motorcycle license, oh yeah, you're F4. You're here to get your class 1 truck driving license. Oh, you're B17. Yeah. Oh, you're just doing your driving exam. You're
like over here, it's like
861
3-digit numbers, sometimes 4-digit numbers. Like when you go and you pick up things plus the letter, like a letter.
And then
like
city,
3-digit numbers or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I'm lucky to be in a small town, but the first step is that, well, first of all, you need at least $160, and then you have to go online and make an appointment at the USPS office, which is our wonderful postal service, to put the application in and get your picture
you also have to have your birth
postal service.
Right.
You gotta have your birth certificate, and that's the hardest thing to get if you don't already have it.
And another ID, a second
ID. The whole other ID that threw me off. It's like, where do you get this other ID?
They do that here too. They do that exact same shit here too in Canada. Yep.
Like I have a license, so then I have to get an ID as well behind my license. How's that work?
You need 2 pieces of government signed photographic ID here.
Right. You need
So hang on.
But how are they different from each other?
If you don't get your driver's license, what the fuck photographic identification are you gonna get? You got your age of majority card.
No, we don't have that.
Yeah, we have. It's a thing here where it's like, oh, if you want to drink, you have an age of majority card.
Oh, see, that's already on our license.
Yeah, but if you don't have a driver's license,
then you would have an ID, just an ID, like
that's what the age of majority card is.
And so that costs like $12 or whatever, and you do need your birth certificate to give them in order to get your
but your birth certificate doesn't have your photo on it.
That's correct.
Yeah, I know.
But that's what they do. They take your picture then, and they put that on your ID.
So you don't, even with your birth certificate,
that's my question. Do you need your ID? You need to go and pay $12 at the DMV to get an actual ID, and then also have your license, and that's considered your 2 forms?
It's a fucked up system.
I mean, that seems ridiculous to me. I mean, it sounds like they're just trying to get $12 out of me.
It sounds like it's the same there as it is here when it comes to that kind of thing. And if you want to do anything really constructive, like let's say you want to get onto like, I don't know, some form of social services or this or that, I mean, they're going to pull you through the rigmarole.
I mean, like when I signed up for EBS, which was before I got the job, like I was floating, and I'd have to, like be able to eat and stuff. So like they had this government process, which is like where you get like EBT, not EBS, an EBT card, and that would like get you food stamps or whatever, or it was technically food stamps on a card, if you will. So like that whole process was completely ridiculous in how you get that, because you'd have to go through a line to get to another line to actually wait for like another couple months before you had to come back and get into another line.
Fuck's sakes.
And then you finally actually get the whatever it is, the EBT card. And that actually comes in the mail. But they don't give it to you there. It's like, it was crazy. I waited like 6 months before I finally got it, and then I finally was like, oh, now I have a job. It's like by that time I'm actually got a job.
Yeah, and you're like, go fuck your hat.
Right. So I maybe used it a couple of times, but like not that many before.
This is all part of the plan, Agenda 21/30, that
Yes.
You know, they don't care, and they don't care if you eat or if you go hungry.
No, because like look at all the homeless people. I mean, there's hella homeless people
Well, a
here in
year ago,
Sacramento.
this is unbelievable here. This is all homeless and drugs. And a year
Oh yeah,
ago,
you got like you're
oh
in
yeah,
what do you call it? Washington, so you probably even have the tent cities.
um,
Oh, we
they're
got those
living
here too.
they're living
Yeah,
down at the river
we have like
here.
some, yeah, there's river cities or there's river tent city type of things that show up, and then there's these ones that like show up for the night, like campers, like where they camp under the bridge area over like by my house, like over like down underneath the freeway. And there's like there's like a big area because like two freeways like intersecting, so it like has a nice range for all these cars to like park right there, and they're all basically living in their cars.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's that's the sad
Well, these
story.
people
And
don't have cars; they're living in tents.
yeah, exactly. And that's
Yeah.
and then there's people that are okay. And then there's the thing with the jump bikes, right? Those have been showing up in all over the place lately in here, or not here, but like in Sacramento, where I live. There's all these bikes that people basically pay to ride, if you will. They pay like I think $3.99 or something for like I don't know, like a certain amount of time that they could ride it, and then
Oh, they
drop it
launched that
off.
here. Yeah, they launched the same thing here in Kelowna. Yeah.
See, so it's like that's an Agenda 2030 thing. It's like it's basically getting us off of our bikes and out of our cars.
And they're
at the same time.
GPS.
They also have something called zip cars, which I didn't even know zip cars were actually like that. Like there's some sort of thing where you have an app and you go find a zip car, and then you use the app to unlock the car, and you get in the car and you take it to another location.
We don't have that yet.
And then you leave it there and you go somewhere else or whatever, and then you go
Yeah,
find
no, we
zip car.
don't have that yet, but we got the equivalent with the bikes though. And it's funny because these bikes, it's really, really funny because like I didn't
even know that.
I work construction, right? So I work construction. So
but they've been around for like ever.
The different sites that I work at are different places in the city, right? So I end up venturing through different places, but it's really funny with these bikes. They're like I guess they're GPS kind of tracked in the whole bit, so people can like get them. But the only way to unlock the bike is to go to an app and unlock the bike, right? But these bikes get left everywhere, and I guess criminals haven't figured out a way to steal the bikes in a way that doesn't put them in jail. But I digress. I'm not in that sense. However, it's just really bizarre because they're completely and totally building a system for people to get around on bikes through a cell phone app.
Oh, wow.
And there's some poor bitch, which I saw in a pickup truck, collecting these bikes from the drop-off points and then taking them back to little yellow squares that the city has painted in certain lots around the urban area. Yeah, it's kind of funny because it's gaining traction with the city. The city's actually adopting it. And it's like, oh yeah, hey, we got these bikes, and
and I also heard that there's buses like that drive themselves now, like certain locations, like they're testing them out in like certain cities. They haven't tested them out in mine yet, but I'm sure it's coming.
Oh fuck, my one of my coworkers has a Jeep a Grand Cherokee, very current year model, and it's got driver assist. It tracks the vehicle in front of it and follows at a predefined speed and does brake assist and the whole bit. And it's like, fuck, we're already on the verge.
Yeah, but I'm talking about a bus, like where you get on and it goes and you're like with other people, and it's like, maybe I think they have it's like a small bus, so like 8 people or something they fit.
And it's completely autonomous.
Yeah, it's completely autonomous, and it just takes you to the next location, just like any other bus.
Oh, fuck.
And and you can like kind of visualize like the future of that, and you can see like all these buses kind of like parking and picking up people. But then there's also going to be the driverless Uber cars that are also parking and picking up people, probably for the rich people. And then you have the bikes. You see what I'm saying? But like nobody's owning anything anymore. It's
No.
like, and I don't even
No.
think that we do anyway. It's just a matter of like, I'm all getting on my soapbox here. It's a matter of getting what do you call it? Their Agenda 2030 perception of like, making us realize that we don't own anything and being accepting of that.
Yeah, and not only that, it's also about state sponsorship. It's also about keeping us confined to a particular regional
Mm-hmm.
geographic area. Like,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
they
Yeah.
don't want people traveling.
No, they want to
Right. I
crowd
mean, I
everybody
still
into the
haven't.
big cities,
I
so
still
they
haven't.
can.
I'm like 40 years old, and I still like only went like literally outside of my state like a little bit. Like, I mean, I've been to Nevada, I've been to Arizona, and I've been to, Washington and Oregon. So that's it. Mark them off my list.
They're going to
Right.
stack us in the big cities like shoeboxes for sustainable living, so they can control us.
I think it's already happening, and that's what the
It's
fires are about.
Right,
it's
right.
already
That's why they
happened.
burned everybody out
And
in
that's
their
what the floods are
homes.
about. They're like using
Right.
all these weather elements to
Harp
like
and
stop
dew.
people from being in
Right.
certain places.
Well,
I
well,
mean, look
well,
what did you hear what happened with that what's it called, observatory? They had this whole area like taken out for an
yeah,
observatory for no reason.
and complete fucking media blackout on that as well. Yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
heard all about that. But
It was bizarre.
but here's the thing though, is that the West Coast, not the West Coast, the West in general, whether it's Western Canada or Western US, is on the radar as people who still have good fundamental wild living. Like we still live like human beings out here. You go to the east, to the urban centers, it's completely and totally like nuts. Like the indoctrination, the urbanization, it's all very very prevalent. You come out to a place out here in the West. I mean, we don't even have municipal police. It's federal. You know what I mean? Because we don't even have the structure here. It's still like the Wild West in a sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they don't like that.
Hey, side note, you were talking about 33 earlier. Federal is a 33-9 word.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the reason I want to
Same
come
as
up
police.
there.
Which is kind of what you're talking about. You're talking about police, right?
Well, I'm talking about the police. I'm also talking. Well, the police are the main aspect, but the other aspect is that it's virtually
But
uncontrolled.
you don't call them police there, right? Like call it something else?
No, we called them popos, 5-0 cops. We called them. Yeah, no,
Okay,
we
so that's
have,
same thing.
yeah, exactly the same.
Isn't there a troopers or something? Or
No,
what's the difference?
no. The Americans have troopers. Oh, you're thinking of. Oh, I know. You're thinking of the RCMP. You're thinking of the Mounties.
Yeah, that's it. Probably.
Yeah.
Guess what? That's a fucking myth.
I figured as much. It's like something you get from the TV or like movies.
We have Mounties, yes, and believe me, like you go to like
It's more of like a I mean, it seems like it's more of like a showmanship type of thing, like something.
yeah,
Like
it's like it's like celebrating
like how we do with the Marines.
Yeah, it's like celebrating an ancient like tradition or something. Like it's
Yeah.
But I will say this: RCMP in Toronto trot around on their horses and they shit on the fucking roads.
Well, there you go. Yeah, we
Yeah,
have
they
police that,
totally
like,
do.
that like go around, like usually during the protests and whatnot. They're always like traveling around in their with on the street, like in the city, with their horses.
Yeah,
It's
well,
like, well, that's weird. We just got used
Well,
to it.
but that
And they're nice cops. They're not like mean cops. At least like those people that are on the horses. They seem like they're nice.
yeah. Well, for everybody listening, I mean, listen, cops aren't bad people. They just have an indoctrination process, and some of them are worse than others, and what have you. Cops are fine. They're human
Well, yeah,
beings.
but they are, most of them are Freemasons. Or
No,
they
no,
are connected to the Freemasons.
I don't agree with
Or
that.
they work for the Freemasons.
What? Anybody who decides to go to the academy went to the academy because they were a Freemason already by birth.
Probably for the perks, but if you get the if you're
No, listen.
all sheriffs are Freemasons.
When a 3-year-old is born and says, "I want to be a cop. I want to be a fireman. I want to be a lawyer. I want to be this. I want to be that." I don't think any of these kids in their mind had it in their head that they want to fuck over somebody or work for the Freemasons in order to fuck somebody over.
Well, even the Freemasons aren't aware of that. Like a lot of the lower like lodges and whatnot, blue lodges, they don't.
Right.
They're not aware of the bigger picture of all of their craft that they do, which is essentially just the gematria, playing it out.
What they have
in ritual form.
What they have done over the course of the last 20 years now is that they've lowered the recommendations and qualifications for police to become staffable. You used to have a university degree or a college degree to become a cop. You used to.
But agreed. Who's paying for the cops? It's the banks. And it's
no, you got it wrong. You got it wrong. They used to have to pay for it by themselves. Originally, before cops were infiltrated, before all these groups were infiltrated and run by these groups, they used to have qualifications. And I'm talking about the 1960s, 70s, and 80s. Going into the 90s, we had a situation where, guess what? All you had to have was a low IQ, mommy issues, and steroids. No, I'm being facetious now. I'm just being an asshole. But I mean, you get the point that I'm trying to make. Like it's ridiculous.
They don't have any IQ. You know, they don't need one for that job.
No, now they're just freaking automatons. They're literal fucking retards.
Right. They're just taking orders, and they're just being told. They're just doing what they're told to do.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? When I was in militia, in the reserves, they told me, they said, there's following orders and following lawful orders. If an order isn't lawful, you have the ability to not follow it, because that shit will come back down on you. I mean, now, in you know, in the scope of things like the Geneva Convention and war criminalization and what have you, guess what? You better fucking actively think about what decisions you're gonna make and what orders you're gonna follow. Because if you don't fucking, I mean, yeah, you go blindly follow an order. Guess what? You might be involved in a war crime and you're culpable. You can't walk away from it. And guess what? Just because you're following orders, it doesn't mean shit. As a human being, as a moral person with ethics, you cannot walk away from a fucking bad decision because you were just following orders. Because every single fucking human being on this planet has the ability to know right from fucking wrong.
Of course they do.
And
that's all it is about.
That's right.
Morality. Because actually, not to digress, as you would say, but you know, I had to stop at the library today because the bus driver on the way home told me that they're closing all the libraries in all the surrounding towns and this one. And I said, you know what? I'm beyond livid about this. I just am. This is so morally wrong.
Hey guys, I'll be back. I have to do singing, and then I'll come back.
Okay.
It's my turn to sing.
But how do you go and close libraries in every town? This is 1984. This is exactly what.
Hey, this is like the book burning, like during like the French Inquisition. This has happened over and over in history. What they're doing now, look, they've gone.
Please don't touch, buddy. It's just my floor.
Really?
Yeah.
Hold on a minute.
worries.
Excuse me a minute.
No worries, Liz. But while we wait for Liz to come back and conspiracy, we have literally gone through a period of time where we are witnessing the erasure of history, and in such a fashion where it's like, oh, let's burn the books. Let's tear down statues. The Sir John A. Macdonald statue in Victoria, BC, was pulled down because it reminded people of what? Abuse of the native Indians here. Yes, because Sir John A. was actively involved with the extermination of native Indians. Yes, so I could see how that's offensive. However, the reason for statues and commemorative items is to literally remember the things that we did wrong. You erase those things, you erase the things that we can learn from to not make those mistakes again. And guess what? We are going through a book burning period once again in our fucking future history, and it's absolutely fucking disgusting. Anyway, Christ, I have nothing else to say about that. Oh crap, we jumped up to 6 viewers. That's quite a jump. Anyway, I'd like to thank y'all. The whole reason I wanted to do this tonight was to basically send a shout out to all of my subs and to anybody watching these videos that
Am I back?
Liz is back.
I'm sorry. My Surrey decided to put me into Pink Floyd for a minute.
Pink Floyd's good. I was just telling the people out there that
all three of us.
Oh no, there's 6 people now.
There's 6 people?
It went up to 8.
I'm only showing me, you.
No, people watching.
Oh really? How can you tell that?
On the Google Hangouts page.
Well, maybe they're on my friends.
It went down to 5.
Oh no.
Now it went down to 4.
I better stop talking.
They have a low attention span apparently.
Well, it's a big Saturday night.
There might be some lag too. Well, it went down to 3. Oh shit, they're backing out now.
Well, you should create an event and then do this
again
the other way. Yeah.
Yeah.
And get everybody involved.
I want to do this impromptu
Right.
to get a general feel for it. And hey, I'd love to have you back and do this again.
Okay.
And I don't know if Conspiracy is here with us or not, but I think I'm going to terminate this broadcast in the next couple. I just see if he comes back.
Well, he's showing, isn't he? Being here?
No, he's here, but he's cut his mic off.
Oh yeah, he's on mute.
Yeah. Oh, he's out and about and doing some crazy shit.
Right.
Sorry, what's up?
Hey. Oh, there he is.
There he is.
Listen, I wanted to shut down this podcast, but I wanted to do it right. But I just wanted to say thank you, Conspiracy, for coming out.
Yeah, you're welcome. No problem. Thanks for having me, as always.
And Liz, thank you
welcome.
For coming out.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you for inviting me. And
we're gonna do this again.
Yeah, you're all welcome to join me on my page. It's LISROSSER.
At where?
Facebook.
On Facebook.
Okay.
If you can, yeah, be prepared.
Be very prepared.
You never know. You never know.
Well, Liz, I already got you on my Facebook, but yeah, this is
I
more
know,
for
you
the
do.
people listening, and watching. Hey, but you know, yeah.
Okay. Well, it's
excuse me.
been real. We have a lot of things to cover, you know. There's a lot of the rabbit hole runs deep.
Well, we did a lot of waffling tonight, but it was
Yeah.
more. This was more just about having a little bit of fun and kind of touching on things and
We're gonna head out.
and establishing.
Suppose,
Won't head out there, dog.
I guess it's just you and me. Okay.
All right, but we're gonna shut her down, and I'd like to thank everybody that's listening now, present, and future, all future listeners on the YouTube. Yeah, look, we don't claim to be perfect. We just perfect being non-perfect.
Right.
So
Well, I will send me the link for the YouTube.
I shall.
Okay.
Actually, it's the same watch link I had sent you before, but I'll send it to you again.
Okay. Great.
And everybody listening, guess what? Hang in there. We're good. Everyone's good. And don't fuck around.
Right.
Peace.
And enjoy British Columbia.
Yes.
Because I'm not.
Oh, you will. You'll get here. You'll get here eventually.
I'm
Someday.
trying.
And hey, Conspiracy, welcome back.
I wanted to come to Canada today, but like the whole passport issue. I was like, you can't like time that out very well.
Well,
No.
listen, if I can do it, you can do it.
This is a true story.
We'll see.
Nothing is impossible. Nothing.
Wow, I hear my own words coming back at me.
Oh, really? No, I'm not a quitter, and I can take 50,000 no's, but that's not the way it's going to go.
That's right.
End of story.
I appreciate that. You know what? That's a great lesson for other people that are listening right now. That's a fantastic. That's a
Just a
fantastic
little
lesson.
nutshell. I have a supervisor over me where I work right now, and I guess we're approximately the same age, and all she wants to do is retire, and be miserable. And now she's starting to let other employees, she's giving them a lot of grief and causing a lot of drama at work. And she looks at me and can't understand why on earth at this point in life I am going to go back to school. I'm going to start a new career, and I'm going to move to another country. And I'm like, well, you only go around in this life once.
That's right.
So, I'm not going to keep wasting time on.
No, you got to make this mortal coil as worthwhile
Right.
as possible.
Running on the treadmill here, and
That's right. There's a lot of treadmills out there. You can always find a new treadmill. I recommend find a new treadmill.
believe me, I'm looking.
Oh shit! All right, it's been a joy and a pleasure, guys. I'm gonna stop the broadcast, but don't hang up.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, people. This has been a Save the Silly Humans podcast. I don't even know what the hell we've been going on about, but fuck, whatever. It's
Everything.
a Saturday night, and we're just feeling good and having fun. So anyway, have a good one, guys, and don't do anything I wouldn't do. And if you do, name it after me. Peace.